Hello, my name's Ruth Cheesley and I'm going to be talking through a little bit about the latest developments in Joomla 3.3 with regards to microdata. I work for a company called Viria Group and I do quite a lot of stuff with microdata, so it's definitely an area of interest for me. So microdata is a way that you can add contextual information onto your website resources, and it explains the information that's being shown on the website in the relationships that it has with other information on your site but also in other places. And this is really key for search engines to actually understand the relationship between resources on the web, who wrote those resources, how popular they are, and what the information that you're displaying actually means. So understanding a context for the information that you're showing online. And the implementation of microdata in Joomla 3 is just for the content articles at the moment. And this lets us tell search engines information about the content we have in our article pages. So it gives us useful information like the language of the page, the title and the author, the genre, the date it was published, the number of hits, and it gives the actual content to the website as well. So let's take a look at this article. I've got a Joomla 3.3 beta site set up here and I'm just looking at a regular article. So let's go to Australian parks, for example. Now I use a plugin that tells me the microdata that's in use on a site, and it's called Microdata Reveal. That's just a Chrome extension and that shows me all of the microdata that's visible on that site. But there is also a way that you can find that information out from Google. So Google has a structured data testing tool, and you can get to that just by going to google.com/webmasters/tools/rich-snippets, and that allows you to test both a URL, so you could just put in the URL of a live website, and it lets you test a block of HTML. So if you're working locally, you can copy and paste in your code and see if there's any microdata. So for this page, it doesn't look like there's anything exciting happening, but when we actually look at the code behind this page, I'll just copy this block, so this is the content block. When I drop that into the structured data testing tool, it tells me that there's lots of information that's hidden in the code that we can't see, that's explaining the information that's visible on the site. So it's telling us that it's in ENGB, it's telling us the name of this article is Australian Parks, it's giving us the URL and information about the author. It's telling us the genre and the date, the number of people who visited the page, and then the article body. So it's giving contextual information to the words that appear on the page. And then, as you might notice at the bottom here, it's actually explaining the information about the author as a person. So the way that the markup works for microdata that we're using in Joomla is that it has definite ways of describing different types of things, so an article, a person, a place, an event, so forth. And so if you're talking about a person, you might want to know name, date of birth, an avatar, and so forth, but with an article you'd be more interested in date published, interaction, and so forth. And you can see all of the schemas at schema.org, so if you'd like to explore a bit about what is available, you can visit schema.org, and there's all kinds of things that you can explore here. So if we look at article, for example, we're explaining these things. So we'll just have a quick look at how this is being done in the code. Normally you would see these div classes, but what you'll notice here is that we've got item scope and item type defined, and we are saying that the information we're about to pass is an article. And then we're giving the property of the language and saying that it's English GB. So that's giving, this meta prop is hidden. So it's not actually being shown on the site, so I can't see anything here that's telling me that it's ENGB, but it's telling that information to a search engine. We then have some nested information that's using the existing tags, so h2 item prop name, and that's giving us information about the name of the article, and this item prop is giving information about the URL. So it's all being put within the existing markup of Joomla. And the result of this is that you actually give search engines a lot more information, and they can use that information to then put that into search results. So often you will find, if you search for something, if I search for my name, extra information in the results. So here you can see my picture, and you can see my Google Plus profile link, and it tells you how many people have me in circles. And there's all kinds of other things that you can include. So one of the ones that I talk about often is pink handbags. And you can see information being put here about the stars and the ratings, and extra links to specific areas relevant to that. All of this comes through Microdata, so it's a really great thing to start including within Joomla. The implementation at the moment is really basic, but I'd encourage you to have a look and see what you can do with it and find out more.